Welcome back to the online sessions on DCCN. In the today's session, we'll try to go some of the techniques that are involved with error correction. In the previous class, we have done with error detection techniques, where we discussed about VRC, LRC, CRC, and checksum methods. So using those methods, we have uh, discovered that there is an error at the receiver side. So receiver has to discover that there is an error. So for this purpose, what is that we did actually? At the transmitter, it is going to calculate the appropriate redundant bits based on the methodology used, and those redundant bits are known as extra bits are added to the transmitted bits at the end. That means, first of all, we're going to have the transmitted bits, then you're going to have the LRC, VRC, CRC or checksum redundant bits that is transmitted via transmission medium. And the receiver is going to receive this entire data. It is going to calculate its own LRC, VRC, checksum or CRC. If it gets the value as 0, it understand that the data received is error free. If it receives anything other than 0, means what? It understands that the data is corrupted. Then the receiver is going to send a negative acknowledgement to the sender asking for retransmission of that particular data. So that is what the basically what happens with the error detection techniques. The next method is going to be error correction method. So instead of sending a negative acknowledgement by the receiver to the sender, if at all the receiver can able to repair that particular data frames, it should be in a position to repair that. If that is really going to happen, then definitely what is the advantage that we are going to have? The receiver don't send any negative acknowledgement to the sender, and sender need not retransmit the data. So if this particular correction method is not there, what is the problem which is going to happen? The shared medium is normally going to become overloaded, and therefore the throughput of the shared medium is simply going to diminish. So therefore, to protect the throughput or to improve the throughput of the shared medium, error correction can be done at the receiver. If the receiver could able to correct the errors which are transmitted errors which are transmitted, or which error takes place in the medium, if it could able to correct, then lot of time is normally going to get saved, and a lot of bandwidth utilization of the shared resource is also going to get utilized very well. So therefore error correction is normally used to improve the throughput of the shared medium. So that is the main cause of going for error correction methods. And also the time of the sender and receiver is also going to get saved. So a lot of time is going to get saved in data communications. The bandwidth resources can be used effectively if error correction methods are incorporated in the receiver side. So this is why we go for the error correction methods. So like error detection, error correction method is also a valid part of the error communication system. So error correction can also be done in two ways. One is a receiver can use error correcting code which automatically corrects certain errors. The receiver can use error correcting codes which automatically corrects certain errors. The receiver can request to the transmitter for retransmission of the data unit. This is what one of the method. This is the older method which we used in the in the previous method. So with the previous method, we used this particular thing. So the first method is the method which we normally incorporate with error correction method, where the receiver can use some error correcting methods to automatically correct certain errors. That means the receiver cannot correct all the errors. Receiver can correct errors at a minimum level. Okay, maybe 1 bit, 2 bit, 3 bit, or 4 bit, like that. So first, the simplest error correction is going to be the single bit error correction method. So similar to the LRC VRC, which uses the parity bits, okay, can be called as redundant bits or extra bits, is sufficient to detect the errors in this particular data. But it cannot detect the erroneous bit in the data. Okay, so that means here, if the data bits are going to be more than, if the error bits are going to be more than one, so this particular system our code is going to fail. So to locate the position of erroneous bit, more extra bits or redundant bits are required to be sent along with the data bits. So these bits carry usually no information as usual, but they are certainly going to carry information related to the error detection. So that means here what is important is that we should compulsorily transmit some extra bits or redundant bits along with the data. So it is similar to the error detection method. We are going to transmit the error correction codes. So this is what we are going to have now. Here in the case of error correction method, two things are happening here. We are simply locating the error and we are correcting the error. That means we are detecting the error and we are correcting the, that means we are simply locating the error and we are correcting the error. If the data bits transmitted is erroneous, we are locating the error, means detecting the error, and we are correcting the error. Two things are normally doing in the case of the error correction method. In the error detection method, only the receiver will tell that the data received by it is erroneous in nature, not correct data. So that's what going to happen at the receiver side. But here in the case of error correction method, the receiver detects that there is an error, it locates the position, and then it corrects that particular bit if it is going to be single bit of data. So we'll take an example. We'll take an example of ASCII character 7 bits. Imagine that, let us say 7-bit ASCII number is transmitted. Okay, now there may be 8 possibilities. Now there are 7 bits. Any bit among the 7 bits may get corrupted. So there are 7 possibilities of finding out the error at the appropriate 7-bit positions. Apart from this, if there is no error, then it is going to be no error. Put together, you're going to have 8 possible errors in this particular kind of a data stream. So therefore, here what we can have there may be 8 possibilities of errors, like no error, error in the first position, error in the second position, error in the third position, so on up to error in the 7th position. So to represent the position of an error, some extra bits are required. That means to correct the error, I should know the position of the error. So therefore, extra bits are required to find out the position of the errors. And we find out decimal equivalent of that particular binary number after from the position bits. Then we correct that error. Let us see how we're going to do by taking a problem. Okay, so we have to take a problem. So using the problem, we normally going to perform that particular task. So before taking a problem, let us try to analyze on this particular error correction method, error detection and correction method. So here, as I tell you, it performs two things. One is detection and correction in the case of error correction methods. So from this, it seems that to detect as well as to correct erroneous bit in 7-bit ASCII characters, 3 bits are sufficient in general. That means here the transmitted data frame is going to have 7 bits. Let us say if it is ASCII, it is going to have 7 bits. So 7 bits means what? There may be error in any one of the 7 bits. So 7 error possibilities plus 1 error possibility, which is going to be of no error. So put together, there are going to be 8 possibilities of error bits, error positions or error bits. That means 2 power 3. If you take 3 bits, 2 power 3 means 8 combinations. So we can represent all 8 combinations. If the error is going to take place only in the data, that is really sufficient. But what happens is here, usually the error may be in the redundant bits that we transmit. So in that case also, we should be in a position to detect the error. So therefore, we'll come up with a solution such that the redundant bits are going to be chosen such that it can even find out the errors which are going to be there in the entire data frame that we transmit, including the extra bits or including the redundant bits in the data which we transmit. Say for example, if you transmit m number of data bits, to transmit m number of data bits, let us suppose we are using r bits for r extra bits to consider it as a redundancy. are redundant bits. Now put together m plus r is going to be the total data bits that are going to get transmitted by the sender. Now any one bit in this data frame may be erroneous. So we should detect all these bits compulsorily. That means even though the capacity of only m bits, but your system or your methodology or a technique, error correction technique should involve to detect errors in any one of these bits. That means the capacity should be increased compulsorily. Therefore, we have to come up with a possibility. What is that possibility here? Let us see. What is the possibility? Now, why we are going for this? But 3 redundant bits are not sufficient for detecting all the errors. As a redundant bits may also get erroneous. So in that case, we'll go with this option now. If 4 redundant bits are used, then what is the formula I can write now? M plus R plus 1. This 1 is for no error. So totally how many combinations I'm getting? 12 possible combinations. 12 possibilities of errors is possible for us, can be detected. So 10 possible errors can be detected in this case. Now 4 bits can have 2 power 4, that is 16 possible states to indicate 16 possible errors. So that means if you take only 3 bits, how many combinations it can show? Only 8 combinations it can show. But how many possible bits are coming now? Number of bits I'm coming, 12 bits are coming. So therefore 8 cannot show, 8 possible combinations cannot show 12 possibilities of errors. Therefore we have to extend this particular concept to a redundant bits to 4. Instead of 3, we have to take 4. That is governed by this particular basic equation. So we'll take this equation called as, just now we have taken now m plus r plus 1. This 1 is for no error bits. So your redundant bit should be compulsorily satisfy this condition. 2 power r should be greater than or equal to m plus r plus 1. So usually we'll take this going to be 2 power r greater than m plus r plus 1 to locate the position of the erroneous bits in the entire data stream transmitted by the sender, including the extra bits that we pad at the end of the data that we are going to transmit. So in doing so, what we can take now, if for example, suppose m is equal to 7, what should be the value of r that we have to figure out? If r is taken as equal to 3, so see, m is equal to 7 means what? Including erroneous bits becomes, including no error, it becomes 8. So to represent 8, you need to have 3 bits, because 2 power 3 is equal to 8. You know that. So 2 power 3 is equal to 8. So therefore you're going to have 8 possible combinations. Easily you can able to represent them. But we have here more than 8. That means 7 plus 3 plus 1. That is going to be 11 bits. So this side is 11. This side is what? 3 if you take. 2 power 3 is 8. 8 greater than or is equal to 11. Condition false. So therefore it is not satisfying this condition. Therefore R value has to be increased. If R is increased, what happens? 2 power R, 2 power 4 is equal to 16. 16 greater than or equal to, how much it is now? This is 7 plus 4, 11 plus 1, 12. So 16 is greater than 12. So condition is true. Since this condition is true, we can take the redundant bits are going to be 4 for this error correction method. So let us go ahead by solving a problem in this particular error correction method. What is the scheme that we are going to take here? First of all, let us figure out all the number of bits that we are going to transmit, including the redundant bits. So that means now what is our example now? We are taking small m is equal to 7. That is the number of bits that we are going to transmit. Then the smallest value of r that satisfies the condition is 4. What should be the smallest value of r that we can take? It is equal to 4. So if you consider that, we will be getting this particular condition which is going to get satisfied. So 2 power 4 is definitely greater than 12. 7 plus 4 plus 1, where 7 is going to be the number of bits, the data bits you're going to transmit. 4 is nothing but the extra bits or redundant bits. One is going to be for the no error possibility. Now we'll arrange a particular data frame in this format. So how many bits I am getting now here in this problem? There are altogether so how many redundant bits we are taking? 4. That means 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many data bits I am going to have? I am going to have 7 data bits. Okay. So one is not included here because it is going to be for the no error. So therefore, in general, how many M I am going to have? M is going to be 7. R is going to be 4. 7 plus 4 is going to be 11. So therefore, we have to take 11 bit combinations. This is one point. The next point is, please write down this table starting from 1 going up to 11 bits. Total are going to be 11 bits that the transmitter or a sender is going to send. Next, first of all, locate the position of the redundant bits. Therefore, the small r1, r2, r3, r4 are known as redundant bits. Now, the code that we are going to follow to put redundant bits is going to be simply 1248 code. Please remember this. It is going to be 1248 code. This code already we have discussed in the DLD subject. So same logic we are normally going to incorporate here, and we are going to use 1248 code. So 1248 code means what? This is going to be 1. At position 1, we are going to have the redundant bit R1. At position 2, you're going to redundant bit R2. And at position 4, you're going to have third redundant bit. And at position 8, you're going to have fourth redundant bit. R4 is the fourth redundant bit. R3 is the third redundant bit. Similarly, R2 and R1. So like this, we arrange first redundant bits. After that, let us write the data bits. Whatever gaps we have, when you go from LSB to MSB, always write in this in reverse fashion. Take from LSB and go towards MSB. In the computer science, we always start from LSB and go towards MSB. Similarly, here also we'll go. So D1 will write D2, D3, D4, D5, D6, D7. Wherever you have got the gaps in these boxes, after you first of all place the redundant bits, then simply write, put all the data bits in sequence. D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, and D6, D7 from LSB towards MSB. After this, what has to be done? Let us see. Where these bits R1, R2, R3, R4 are known as, just now we discussed, they are called as redundant bits. So each redundant bit has a responsibility of checking group of bits as given below. Now at the receiver side, receiver has to check each and every redundant bits from the transmitted bits. So how the receiver is going to check? R1 is going to be the first redundant bit, which is based on the position of the redundant bit. So your position is first position, position number 1. So these bits are normally going to get identified, that means calculated based on the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and 11. How it is written now? How is it written now? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So this is the this code. What is the code we are normally writing here? 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 4, 8 code. So therefore, R1, R2, R3, R4 number of positions that we have to consider to find out appropriate redundant bits at the receiver is going to be initially start with 1, 2, 4, 8 only. Write down here 1, 2, 4, 8 straight away. Then let us come to the first R1, filling up the entire bit positions to find out R1. Now here this is the first position. So we written first one, then leave one bit in between because it is at first position. 1, 2, 4, 8 code no. Leave one bit, write one bit. Leave one bit, write one bit. Like that. First of all, written first bit, left discarded second bit, 3 discarded fourth bit, 5 discarded next bit, 6, 7 discarded next bit, 8, 9 we have written, discarded 10, 11 bit. Next position is 2. Position is 2 means what? We start from 2. Anyway, we are starting from 2. So we start from 2 and we continue for 2 positions. 2 and 3 are 2 positions. Discard 2 positions. 4, 5 discarded. 6, 7, 8, 9 discarded, 10, 11. Okay, now we have only up to 11. So therefore we'll write up to 11. Then next R3 means what? What is its position to start with now? It is 4 because 1 2 4 8 code, no, fourth position. So we have to write 4 numbers in sequence starting from 4. Then you have to discard 4 numbers in sequence. Then you should write next bits. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 bits I have written. Done with it. Then next R4 bit, R4 bits at the position of R4. What bits I am going to consider now? 8, 9, 10, 11 I am going to consider now. Okay. 8, 4, 8, 4, 10, 9 I am going to consider now. So I'm going to consider this 8, 4, 10. Now, in general, how many I can write here? Let us see. R4 means what? It is number 8. That means it is going to be the 1 2 4 8 code. So 8 numbers you have to write in sequence. 8 numbers you have to discard. And in sequence, 8 numbers you have to write. That means you have to write 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Up to 15 you can write. But in the given data, how many we have? Last is only 11. So we are stopping at 11 only. So that means, say for example, if you're going to have R5 also, then you normally going to fill these things further also. That means if it is going to consider R5 also, say for example, we are considering R5. Now always take the this data bits in powers of 2, 2 to the power n minus 1, 2 to the power m minus 1. 2 to the power m means what? It's going to be 2 to the power, 2 to the power r, 2 to the power m is equal to 2 to the power r minus 1 you have to take in general. So if m is, if r is taken as equal to 3, 2 power 3 is 8, minus 1 is going to be minus 1 is going to be 7. So for 7 bits, we have taken r is equal to 7. R is equal to 4. For 7 data bits, we have taken r is equal to 4. So if at all I want to take r is equal to 5, how many data bits I need to have to get a complete sequence of bits? I am normally going to have 15 in, put together. 1 to 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 15. So 15 means what? I can get 15. That means 2 power r, that is 16 minus 1. 2 power r minus 1 should be equal to m. So let us suppose if m is equal to 15, then how long I can write this as equal to this? I can write as after 11 for R1 bits. I can write 13, 15. Here I can write 10, 11 is done. Then I have to leave 12, 13. Then I have to write 14, 15. Here what is that I'm going to write now? So I have to write 4 bits, 4, 5, 6, 7, leave 4 bits. What 4 bits I'm going to leave? 8, 9, 10, 11 I'm going to leave. Then 12, 13, 14, 15 I'm going to write it here. Here what I'm going to write here? Yeah, here we'll get in more clarity now. So 8 bits you have to write in sequence, starting from 8. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 I'm going to write. Because up to 15 we got the numbers. If the extra bits are taken as equal to 5. If r is taken as equal to 5 in this equation, so I can just take like that. So that is how we normally going to consider this. But for simplicity, I'm taking m is equal, we are taking m is equal to 7 and r is equal to 4 to cover the entire uh, bits for error detection technique. So let us proceed further now. At the receiver, what the receiver will do now? Receiver is normally going to implement these 3 steps. What are the steps receiver is going to implement to calculate the value of R? That means it has to calculate the position of the error bit. So calculating position of error bit in turn involves detection and finding out the position. Both are involved here. So both of them are simply involved in this particular process. So first of all D values are replaced by original data bits. So in this frame bits, whatever we have written here, replace the appropriate data values with the given data from D1 to D7. Then all R values are replaced by simply zeros. are simply replaced by zeros. So this forms the initial code word. Then after that, the receiver is going to calculate C1, C2, C3, C4, going to be the called as the redundant bits, uh, redundant bits at the receiver for error correction. So this is redundant bit calculated by the receiver uh, based on the transmitted bits. Similarly, C2, C3, and C4. So what is the logic implemented here? Simply whatever logic just now we have seen. C1, C3, C. This is redundant bit 1. So what is the code just now I have tell you? 1248 code. So 1248 means what? We start from 1, we leave one bit and we write the next bit, C3. Because at these locations we're going to have the redundant bits in the transmitter, redundant bits at the transmitter. So therefore we apply XOR operation of all these bits to find out the redundant bit at the error correcting redundant bit at the receiver. Similarly, C2, we start from 2, write two digits, 2 3, leave 2 digits and write 6 7, leave 2 digits, that is 8 9, we leave, we write 10 11, and we perform XOR operation for all these things. Similarly, C4, that means 4 5 6 7 bit locations, we perform XOR operation. And similarly, C8, 8 9 10 11, if at all there, okay, we're going to write 4 more bits like 12 13 14 and 15. So like this we write 4 more bits to get the C8. So all this we perform with XOR operations to find out C1, C2, C4 and C8 bits. So let us try to go with the problem. Now checking the error bit. Receiver does all these 3 operations stated above and it find out the code word C. So after this operation, the bit combinations are taken now, which is nothing but code word C, which is formed as C4, C8, C4, C2, C1. They are arranged in this fashion based on the weights of these numbers, represents the binary number. So corresponding to the binary number, we'll find out a decimal number. It finds out a decimal number. So if the decimal number is 0, if the decimal number is 0, then the receiver understands that there is no error. If decimal number is some other number, say some number n, say for example, if this n is equal to 4, then it is concluded that the fourth bit is error bit. So we'll understand that by going with a problem. So this problem is a very, very interesting problem because this will be asked in the exam many times. So you should compulsorily go through this problem. Okay. See, imagine that the data which is transmitted is going to be 1001101 is the data that we are transmitting. So this is the data that I am transmitting. Now I'll arrange the bits. How I'll arrange the bits? First is, what is that I tell you? First to locate the redundant bit positions. So redundant bit positions, what is the code I'm going to use? 1248 code. So at positions 1 and 2, put zeros. At position 4, put 0. At position 8, C8, 8th position. C is at 8th position. So at position, put 0. Then write down data. This is nothing but LSB. This is MSB side. We already know this. So the right hand side, most right hand side is LSB. Most left hand side is MSB. So LSB is D1. And we increment this. We write here D1, D2, D3, D4, so on up to D7. So write on all these bits. D1 is 1. D2 0. D3, D3, D4. This is D3, D4, 1, 1. Okay, and similarly D5, D6, D7, 0, 0, 1. I'll write all these things. So after I write all these things, so that means receiver has did this. It has arranged everything and represented this in terms of all these weights have been represented in terms of the C1, C2, C3, C4. It has written the bit patterns. Then it is going to calculate its own even parity redundant bits. So the receiver is going to calculate its own redundant bits. So there are 4 redundant bits. The receiver is going to calculate these 4 redundant bits as receiver side. So C1 is equal to the value at C1, C3, C5, C7. So whatever formula we have used just now, same thing is being repeated here. Okay, so by doing that, we normally going to get the value of the C1, C2, C3, and C4. See how we got C1 now? 0 XOR with 1 is 1, 1 XOR with 0 is 1, 1 XOR with 1 is 0, 0 XOR with 0 is 0, 0 XOR with 1 is 1. So therefore answer is 1. Here I got 0. Let us see how I got 0 here. 0 XOR with 1 is 1, 1 XOR with 1 is 0, 0 XOR with 1 is 1, 1 XOR with 0 is 1, 1 XOR with 1 is 0. Similarly, C4 and C8 values, 0, 1 will be getting. So after we get C1, C2, C4 and C8, so just replace this C1, C2, C4, C8 in the appropriate places in the data stream that has been identified by the receiver. So C1 is 1, C2 is 0, okay, C4 is 0, and C8 is 1. So like this we put here 1. So we got all these data bits now. So once after we get data bits, this is what the code word which has been received by the receiver that we normally going to have, or we normally going to consider over here. Okay. Now what is the equivalent decimal value for this that we'll be getting here? This is 1001. So we'll write this as something like 1001. It's going to be 9. So there is no ninth bit in the data frame. So therefore there is no error actually. So let us imagine that if seventh bit has undergone an error. If seventh bit has undergone an error, means in the data frame that we have, the seventh bit you make it to 0. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, seventh bit. Seventh bit earlier it was 1. We made it equal to 0. Earlier if you see seventh bit, in the data frame, if you see the seventh bit in the data frame, so this is data frame. See this data frame, C7, that is the seventh bit. Seventh bit was 1 before error takes place. So after error takes place, I consider the seventh bit is going to be equal to 0. That means seventh bit is 0, means what? There is an error in the seventh bit. So this bit is received by the receiver, for example. This has been taken place or happened in the transmission channel. So due to the losses in the transmission channel, let us say this bit has been inverted. Now that is an error took place in the transmission medium. Now as a receiver, we are going to calculate this particular redundant bits and arrange them in terms of C8, C4, C2, C1 fashion. So C8, what is the value of C8 that we have got here? Let us see. It will be 0. C8 is 0 and rest of them are going to be all ones. That means the decimal equivalent of this value is equal to 7. That means it is understood that there is an error in the position number 7. Then that bit has to be inverted by the receiver. So inverter will simply invert that bit to that bit will be inverted. So that means 0 will be inverted to 1, which is the correct bit format for the receiver to understand. That means here receiver, what it has did now, it has corrected the bit which is error, and the receiver is going to consider that as the valid data. So receiver don't transmit negative acknowledgement to the sender asking for this particular data to be retransmitted. So this is how we normally going to use this error correction techniques. And last method is going to be Hamming code method. So Hamming code method I left it to you because the Hamming code method is exactly same as the method which we have discussed in the DLD subject. So you can just use the same methodology to undergo with the Hamming code method. Okay, so with this we'll stop our session. We'll end our session. With this, and okay. In the next session, what we do is we cover the last topic, that is the error control method. We discussed long back about the functions of data link layers such as the line discipline, flow control method, error control method. So there is going to be one more method left here for us to discuss called as error control method. So after we complete the error control method, we'll be completing unit number 2. Okay. So thank you very much for today's session. In next session, we go with the last topic of unit number 2. So after we complete the last topic called control error control methods, we end up our unit number 2 for data link layer protocols. Thank you very much for today's session.